Arenas tends to be a hit or miss among Apex players. You either play it religiously or despise its very existence. I'd argue that it's related to getting dunked on by pre-made squads with proper coordination more than anything else. Losing isn't fun, and solo queuing comes with a higher rate of loss, but you can do something about it. Some of these tips aren't easy to implement, but they're effective more often than not. I don't like wasting time, so let's just get started. I regularly queue up and get paired with obvious pre-made duos. Club tags, similar names, chit-chat. These giveaways let me know that I'm the odd man out. It's 2 to 1, so I turn on the mic and say, "What's up, guys?" or something simple like that, and open up a conversation in a friendly voice. This immediately lets them know that they weren't paired up with a rager. Personally, I like to open with something silly or make a joke based on their usernames, something that sets an enjoyable tone. If you have good rapport with these two, even if it's only for 15 minutes, it makes the time fly by, it makes it more enjoyable for all parties involved, and hey, maybe you've made a couple of friends out of this. Don't rage, hype them up, and don't cast blame. It will lead to more solo queuing success. There's a chance that the two players you're queued up with are in a Discord call or a PlayStation party or whatever. Entertain the idea that they're also solo queuers with their mics turned off instead. Talk, make callouts, and hype them up. Even if they never say a word, your callout about an enemy position could lead to a specific match win. If you want to save your breath, you could say something like, "Crouch twice if you can hear me when you're in the economy room," the buying phase, whatever you want to call it. That way, at least you know that you're not talking to a wall for the whole match. This helps you with micro in-game decisions, but it also helps you develop IGL skills at the same time. I'll have an entire video about reading your enemies in arenas, but for now, let's just talk about the footnotes. After round 2 concludes, look at the scoreboard in your map screen. You'll likely see a huge damage disparity on the enemy team, showing you who the most lethal enemy player is. I often find that one player will match the combined damage of the other 2 players. You just learned valuable information about their team structure. If the opportunity presents itself, you need to focus on the strongest enemy player first. If the only one in front of you is one of the lower performing enemies, it's easy pickings. If they're all in front of you at the same time, getting the objectively better player out of the game first will make it a lot easier to win that round. Similarly to the last point, you should also read your teammates. Pay attention to the guns that they're running. If they're using the Flatline and Peacekeeper, I doubt they're going to hang by while you poke with a charged Sentinel from a distance. Don't choose long-range weapons when they pick SMGs and pistols. Similarly, if they're picking long-range weapons, you can do one of 2 things. One, you can choose proximity weapons and stick close to them, covering their weakness of not having 2 close-range guns, or you can choose one long-range weapon, team snipe, and push in with a secondary gun after getting a knock. Pick the right weapons even if they're not the ones you want to choose. Your choices have to contour to or at least complement your teammates' weapons. If you're already the odd one out, acting alone isn't going to promote any team synergy or lead to match wins. Sometimes you just get put with inexperienced teammates, but even if they are experienced, you can still play together and play to your own strengths. Stay within 10 to 30 meters of your teammates, and chances are the enemy team isn't going to implement the same tactics, so you'll be able to overwhelm enemies and create multiple 1v3 situations where your team will reign supreme. We all have different skill levels and perform differently on different days. I've had plenty of days where I'm 3rd for kills and damage, so I don't say this to be mean to anyone, but if your teammates are performing poorly and they just soak up bullets, so be it. At least you're not getting focused by the entire enemy team at once. If your teammates are using aggressive language and don't care what you have to say, mute them. This sounds counterintuitive to all of the above, but there's actually 3 seriously good reasons for this. 1, nobody should get stressed out while playing a video game. 2, you should never volunteer for your own beatings. 3, it's rare to actually detoxify a teammate. Try to be calm, respond by being nice at first, and if that doesn't smooth it over, mute them. It's worth it to give it a try, but we can all tell when the other person is dead set on being toxic and just raging. Being angry literally blocks your ability to learn. Go ahead and Google it. When you get angry, you play worse, and take nothing away from the day's experience. It doesn't help you get better, and it builds a negative perception of the game, which means you'll have less fun in the future. Try to talk to them, and if it doesn't quickly diffuse the situation, mute the mic. You can't win them all.